Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to discuss about triggers. What are triggers in SQL? So in today's explanation, it will be explained in a very simple language. We will not go in detail because sometimes people do get confused about triggers. So today's session will be in very simple terms. So, if you have done Java programming or C programming, then you must have come across a concept called as exception handling. So, what we used to do in exception handling was that whenever we knew that a error could occur on this situation, then we would write some different code for that error. In similar ways, triggers are there in SQL. So triggers cannot be called by some function. So these are only called or these are only run when a particular scenario or event occurs. Okay, so let's say this is my table employee which has this data for three employees, their IDs, department, salary, and joining date. Now I don't want anyone else to enter data in this table. So as soon as someone runs a insert command for this table, it should pop up some error. So we will see how to not allow anyone else to enter or insert data in this table. So we will do that using triggers. So what I'll do is I will create a new query and I will start writing my code. So as we create a table and we say create table, similarly we say create trigger. And because this is for my employee table, so I'm not allowing anyone to insert. So let me name it as insert employee. Name could be anything you want to keep. Okay. Now apply this trigger on what? So this trigger could be applied on a database, it could be applied on a table. So I'm saying on table and my table name is employee. Now for what I'm applying this trigger. So it could be that I don't want anyone to insert any value in this table, or I don't want anyone to update the values, or I don't want anyone to delete the values. So in my case, I don't want anyone to insert the values. So I'll say for the insert command. Okay. As. Now, after as you can write your code depending on what you want. But as this is going to be a very simple class on triggers, we are not going into much complex code so that we understand how triggers work. So I'm just writing a print statement. Like we always write that print hello world as our first program in any computer language. So similarly, we are just writing a print statement in triggers. So I'm saying print cannot insert values. And after printing this statement, I want that insert command to roll back. I don't want that insert command to run. So I'll say roll back. So this is my insert query. Let's execute this. So it says commands completed successfully. That means my trigger has been created. So in case you want to see where is your trigger in this session, so what you do is go to your database, then go to your table, then select your table. My table was employee, and just refresh it. Okay, and then you have this triggers option, expand it, and now you see your trigger for insert employee. So maybe in future if you don't want this trigger anymore, so you can just come here, right click it and delete it as well, or you can modify it as also if you want to. So now our trigger has been executed, it has been created, Now let's try to insert some value in my table employee. So I'll say insert into employee values. Vinay has name, ID is 4, then let's say department is HR, salary is let's say 45,000, and then for joining date let's say null. Okay, close. Now let's execute it. It should not enter this data, so let's execute. Okay, now you see this message cannot insert values. So this was the message we had copy pasted over here. So cannot insert this, insert values, sorry, cannot insert values. So this is the message our trigger is displaying. So that means our trigger did run and it says the transaction ended in the trigger, the batch has been aborted. So that means we were not able to enter values in the employee table. Now let's check employee table as well. Let's see if it actually worked. I'll execute this, and yeah, you can see that Vinay has not been added to our employee table. So that means our trigger is running. So this was a very simple example on how trigger works. So triggers are basically of three types: DDL triggers, which is the data definition; language triggers, so which work on creating table, altering table, dropping table. That is they work on the structure. And then we have the DML, that is the data manipulation language triggers, which work on the data like inserting, updating, or deleting, like the one we just did. And there is also one more kind of trigger that is known as the logon trigger, but that works on the authentication process, which we won't use most probably in colleges and all. So this was a very short video and introduction on triggers. I hope you understood now how triggers work. We saw a live example also on how we triggered not to insert data in our employee table. So basically this is the syntax for trigger, and there are more syntax also, like you can have after or before commands as well. So you can let me know if you want to know more in depth of the syntax. I will create a video on more in depth. That's all for this video. Let me know in the comment section if this was helpful, and also let me know if you have any other doubts. I will be happy to create a video on that topic as well. That's all for this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like and share my video. That helps me grow. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.